I may look tired because I really, really am. But the NFL draft is over, and we are keeping the grind going. You see the bags under the eyes. The delusion has set in, but we are back to deliver the Saints 2023 UDFA tracker. And just so you guys know, as a note, right now, NFL teams can have 90 players on their current rosters. So that's just a note for all of y'all if you didn't know that. But without further ado, let's get into the Saints UDFAs. So Anfernee Johnson, the quarterback out of Virginia. Jerron Cage, the defensive lineman out of Ohio State. Lou Hedley, the Aussie out of Miami, Florida. He is tatted up, and he is going to be so fun in New Orleans. Barnett, wide receiver out of Davenport. SaRodorick Thompson, running back out of Texas Tech. Alex Philstrom, the center out of Illinois. Joel Wilson, tight end out of Central Michigan. Mark Evans out of Arkansas Pine Bluff, the offensive guard. Anfernee Orji, linebacker out of Vanderbilt. Shaq Davis, also Shaq Davis, a wide receiver out of South Carolina State. Nick Anderson, he's staying local out of Tulane. He's sticking around in New Orleans. And Blake Grupe, the kicker out of Notre Dame. So before I give you some analysis and break down, everything about these guys, who is your favorite UDFA that the Saints have signed? I need you guys to break it down for me and let me know. I personally am a big fan of the Lou Hedley signing. I think he's just going to be a ton of fun to have in New Orleans. He is a really, really intriguing player, and he's just really fun. And, just shout out to all the Aussies. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. Shout out to, Lou Hedley. It's going to be a ton of fun. But I need you to let me know who is your favorite UDFA that the Saints have signed. So in terms of Anfernee Johnson, I'm just going to be looking at some notes, going to be breaking down just a couple, things to know about each player. So just bear with me as I read my notes, talk about it, and I'm trying to still deliver content. Again, I'm trying to learn. I'm still new to the hosting game, but we are here to have some fun. If you don't like it, you can click out the video. I don't know what to tell you. So in terms of Anfernee Johnson, he's a cornerback out of Virginia, has great size at 6'1", 205 pounds, has almost 32 and a half inch arms. He uses his length well, played 328 special team snaps this past year. He's really a smart player, good ball skills. He didn't have a great 40-yard dash at a 4.63. Poor testing, and he's a little bit bigger of a guy. He had 21 career flags. He plays tall, and he's hurting his already iffy burst. So those are just some notes that we have on Anfernee Johnson. As for Jerron Cage, he is a defensive lineman from Ohio State, and honestly, we all know that the defensive line was something that the Saints needed to address really badly because you lost David Onyemata, you lost Shai Tuttle in free agency. You draft Brian Brzee in the first round. You also go get Isaiah Foskey, the edge rusher, in the second round. And I think that this is another good depth piece to have alongside Cameron Jordan and to learn, push, Malcolm Roach, push guys like Tano Passanio and Peyton Turner to do a little bit more. Lou Hedley. It's going to be a fun one. Lou Hedley is going to be super fun. And if you can't tell in this picture, I know it's small. This guy's tatted like head to toe. He wears number 94 just like our guy Cameron Jordan. It would be hilarious. I would love to just see the banter between the Aussie and Cam because we all know that Lou Hedley is an electric player. If you watched him at Miami, he's just a ton of fun to watch. It's going to be super cool to have him around. Barnett, also an intriguing player. He's going to be a wide receiver out of Davenport. I think it's going to be a solid option to bring, or a solid guy to bring in to compete for a roster spot. You brought in Brian Edwards. You brought back Michael Thomas. You have Rashid Shaheed, Chris Olave. Tre'Quan Smith is a player that I would say could be on the hot seat. I mean, maybe, a lot of Saints fans aren't really happy with him. He's a good blocker, but he doesn't really do much in terms of production with pass catching. So maybe Barnett could challenge Tre'Quan Smith to get a roster spot. So lock us in, Who Dat Nation. Subscribe and turn on your notifications. That way you never miss a thing about the New Orleans Saints. We try to deliver great content every single day. Whether it's I'm self-producing it, I got my guy, producer Cooper, producer Seeps, running shotgun with me. It's always a fun thing, or it's always a fun time out here. We try to deliver entertaining and informative content for you guys. So lock us in, subscribe, so you never miss any news, rumors, or updates. So in terms of more Saints UDFAs, you got SaRodorick Thompson. He's a 5'11" running back out of Texas Tech out there in Lubbock. 139 carries this past season, 684 yards, 7 touchdowns. Has some pass catching ability as well. 23 receptions, 125 yards, and a touchdown. Alex Philstrom, you don't currently have a backup line or a backup center, so you don't have a guy backing up Eric McCoy. Now you drafted Nick Saldiveri, who is just an offensive lineman. He's not a tackle. He's not a guard. He's an offensive lineman. He can play it all. He's extremely versatile, and that's something he takes a lot of pride in. So that is a good depth piece. It's a good, signing. Maybe we can have him make the roster as well. Joel Wilson, he joins Lucas Kroll as the tight end UDFA signing of the year. Lucas Kroll obviously was a tight end UDFA at a Pitt last year. Mark Evans from Arkansas Pine Bluff. They would say, I went to the Harvard of Arkansas up at the U of A in Fayetteville. They call the Arkansas Pine Bluff, they call that the Yale of Arkansas, if you will. We don't really associate with, Jonesboro or anything. That doesn't exist. Anyway, another good signing, another good depth piece. It could be an intriguing option. Maybe he could make the roster. He could challenge for a beat-up offensive line that typically faces a lot of injuries. So, Who Dat Nation, Bryan Bresee was the Saints' first-round pick at number 29 overall, and we got jerseys for you at chatsports.com/Saints Bresee. Almost Saints Breeze, but Saints Bresee. So go get locked and loaded, get geared up, get swagged out, and get iced out for a night out on Bourbon Street, a night out in the town, or if you just want to go and show all your other friends who has the best jerseys in the NFL, and that's the damn New Orleans Saints. Go get you geared up. I'll have the link in the comment section and in the description of today's video. Thank you guys for supporting us. Get the jerseys with our link to support the show. All right, so some more UDFA breakdown. Anfernee Orji, he is the thing with the linebacker room is I really wish they would have addressed it in the draft because it's just not good. Like, the linebacker situation is in the near future going to, eventually catch up. I have to say, I feel like it's going to catch up because you have Demario Davis, who obviously is, a future Hall of Famer. He's a legend, in my opinion, at least. I think he's an absolute Saints legend. But you lose Caden Ellis. You don't necessarily know if you want to run with Zach Bond as, getting a ton of starting reps and stuff. So Anfernee Orji, he could compete for the linebacker spot on the depth chart. Shaq Davis, also known as Shaq Davis, he is an awesome player out of South Carolina State. You just can't ever have too many wide receivers. Let's just look back a couple years ago for evidence of that. Nick Anderson, another linebacker, same thing as Anfernee Orji. Bring him in. You need to get some depth. You need to get some youth in there. Maybe you can make the roster. Honestly, I would love for Nick Anderson or Anfernee Orji to make the roster because go get a Tulane guy. Go get a Tulane guy. Why not? Bring him in. But then the kicker, Blake Grupe, he is coming in as a UDFA as well. Obviously, Will Lutz. We used to call him Big Nuts Lutz or Clutch Lutz or whatever you wanted to say. That being said, he hasn't done as well in recent years. He had the injury. Production dipped a little bit. Blake Grupe could challenge and push Will Lutz to potentially play better or challenge him for a roster spot. So let me know, Who Dat Nation, what's your one-word reaction to the Saints draft class? You got a ton of awesome players in the NFL draft. You brought in a ton of really awesome names in the UDFA class. Let me know, who's your favorite Saints rookie this season? What's your one-word reaction? I'm just so curious because I'm really excited. This is the first time in a long time as a Saints fan I've been like, no, there's a clear vision of what's going on here. There isn't just, let's keep going for continuity and the cohesion and keeping it how it was when we had Sean Payton and Drew. No, we're done. That era is over. We have finally there's a vision, and it's clear this offseason has been awesome for the New Orleans Saints. Shout out to Mickey Loomis. And I'm a man of my word, and I'm man enough to admit when I'm wrong. Shout out to Dennis Allen for crushing it this offseason. Hit me up on Twitter, Saints fans, at TraceGerard48. I'll have the link in the comment section and in the description. I'm also on Instagram and Twitter or TikTok with the same handle. I post a ton of content on all 3 platforms. Feel free to hit me up. DM me draft if you follow me off this video, and I'll chop it up with you in the DMs. Sorry, again, guys, I've put more time in at the studio than I have slept. I just want to make this company money. That's all I want to do. So I'm just trying to do my thing. I'm sorry I'm so damn tired. It just be like that. Y'all stay golden. I'm going to get out of here and go take a nap and hibernate for the next 2 months. See you later.